you, welcome back. This is Amy Scott Grant. They call me the spiritual ass kicker, and I'm doing a little follow-up. You might have seen I had a couple of videos on how to exit any conversation quickly and gracefully. And an excellent question came up from one of our viewers, which is, what if the person you're in a conversation with is a narcissist? Whew. First off, I feel for you, right? Because narcissistic personality type disorder people, yeah, they're a handful. You probably constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells around them because you kind of like never know what's going to set them off or put them into kind of manic mode and make you the target of their, yeah. So that is such a good question. How do you get out of a conversation with a narcissist? So the first thing I will tell you is something you already know if you deal with narcissists, and that is tread carefully. Right? Whatever you do, don't let them see this video. Well, actually, it's okay because they don't even know they're a narcissist. They don't think of themselves that way at all, right? So they'll have no clue that this video is really about them and how you can handle them. But you do want to tread lightly, right? Because you don't want to end up being the brunt of their fury, right? And, if you don't know much about narcissistic personality disorder, they have a real issue with abandonment, right? If they think someone is leaving them, they pretty much lose their shit. So you don't want it to look like abandonment. At the same time, my concern is about you, right? And it's hard enough interacting with people who are narcissists. But on top of that, I don't want you to feel like your needs aren't getting met, right? Because I really made this video for you, not for the narcissist, even though they think everything's really about them. This is for you and your own self-preservation and your own self-care and setting boundaries. It's so super hard to set boundaries with narcissists. Excuse me. So here's a couple of quick escape methods that you can use. Okay. The first thing you can do is use everything that I said in the prior two videos, except make it feel more urgent, right? So instead of like, I'm just going to head to the bathroom, it's like, I have to use the bathroom like right now. Right? So you can kind of amp that up, the urgency of that. Why? Because the narcissist certainly doesn't want you to pee your pants. Not that they're really thinking about your needs at the time, but they understand urgent needs. Okay? Especially urgent basal needs like food, toilet. Okay? So water, etc. So if you need to get some water, if you find yourself thirsty, you might be like dying of thirst in that moment. I'm so thirsty. God, my mouth is so dry. I'm just going to grab some water. Okay. So any kind of escape could be like an urgent escape. That's going to fly a little bit better with the narcissist, right? Than just, I'm going to go check out the food. That could easily be perceived as abandonment by them. And you could be in for a not so fun ride, right? If that happens. Another thing that you can do is, I hate to say like feed their narcissism, but if you deal with narcissists a lot, you sort of know there's certain coping mechanisms for handling them. Unfortunately, a lot of people cope by withdrawing and really protecting themselves, but there are ways to handle conversations with narcissists. And believe me, you do want to get out of those conversations quickly before you become the target, right? So one thing that you can do besides the urgency thing is to keep the focus on them, right? So you're leaving the conversation, but you're expressing their value in doing so. Here's an example of this. I hate to interrupt you. I really want to hear the rest of this story that you're sharing, but I have got to go fill in the blank, right? Use the bathroom, get some water, talk to this business colleague I've been trying to reach for a month, whatever. Will you call me later and tell me the rest of this? Because I really want to hear it. So if you can express like how interested you are. I know, I get it, right? In the last two videos, I was like, I hate to say anything that's not true, and I really don't, and I will always find a way to make it true. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, your own self-preservation is so important, okay? Because you can't set boundaries like you could with people that don't have this disorder. So you have to tread lightly. So the thing is, if you say, I really want to hear, so will you call me later? They're not going to call you. In my experience, in my dealings with narcissists, they actually don't call you because they want people coming to them. So they'll set up things so that people are coming to them, asking them for help, asking them for input, guidance, expertise, generosity, like whatever. Okay. So if you are not clear in how you do this communication, this is how it could go that isn't very helpful, right? Is I really want to hear this, but I've got to go fill in the blank. And then the narcissist might say, okay, call me later and I'm going to tell you everything. You don't want to call them later, right? You don't want to hear the rest of this at all. You don't want to engage in this whatever this is, this gossip or this tearing down of someone else or this long litany of ways that they have been wronged by other people. Have you noticed nothing is the narcissist's fault? Have you ever noticed that? I've noticed that. So you don't want to get engaged in that, because then if you either do call and you're stuck in another conversation like the one you just tried to escape from, or you don't call them back and then they're mad at you, right? Because you dropped the ball, you abandoned them, you didn't like whatever. So you really want to smoothly put the onus back on them, right? Like, can you call me later? I want to hear the rest of this. They're not going to say no. They might say no, you call me. I don't know. It's narcissists. It's hard to predict what's going to come out of their mouth, but they could be like, well, I have to go do whatever. Usually they'll just make it about them again and why they don't have time to call you. Either way, you're out of the conversation. Okay. Either way, it's ended, right? So another thing you have to know with narcissists is you can't get the last word. It's not possible. It just doesn't happen. Okay. So, and you'll just frustrate yourself and agitate them and escalate the whole situation if you try. So you sometimes swallow a little pride, but ask yourself, what's more important, to swallow your pride a little bit or to escape the conversation? That's the whole goal, right? Is to get out of this conversation that's going in circles with this narcissist. So I hope you found that helpful. And if you have other tips for how to get out of a conversation with a narcissist, post them here so that we can all benefit from them. And I will see you in the next video.